guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm gonna talk to you about what I'm drawing here, and then I'm gonna go over and get to some questions that others have asked me, like, a long time ago. I've taken so long to get to these questions, so forgive me, but at least I'm getting to them now. Okay, so about the picture. You may have seen this drawing already if you've watched one of my sketchbook tour videos. I think it was in volume 3. I didn't draw this too long ago. But it's of my character Spade holding a large sci-fi rifle because I needed the gun practice. But I mostly drew this up because I also wanted to test out these new cool gray markers that I got. I ran out of my Neo Pico markers that I used in my previous sketchbooks, and since I really like using these grayscale markers in my sketchbooks, I've decided to get some more, but this time I wanted to try out like a different brand just to try it. You can see them displayed in the video as I'm using them. They're called Mincho Cool Gray Art Markers. I probably butchered the name, I'm sorry. But yeah, so now you know in case you want to look them up and try them out for yourselves. They're alcohol-based markers, which is what I like to use on my ballpoint pen pictures because they actually smear the pen ink and it makes an interesting effect, so I always like to continue to use them. Also, I made a swatch palette because just like most markers that are sold, the cap colors don't always match, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. But other than that, these markers are nice and are not too bad of a price anyway. At the end of this illustration, I scanned in the picture and I messed around with it a bit more in Photoshop, but I did not record that part. But you can see the final result in the ending credits of this video. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say about this drawing, so now I'm gonna go move over and answer some of the questions I've received, like a zillion years ago. Question: I saw your sketchbook tour videos on YouTube. You never cease to amaze me how much detail you can put into your art. However, if an artist is looking to help improve their art by drawing in a sketchbook, do you recommend making each page as one large drawing, or would several smaller drawings be better? Originally, I thought doing several smaller drawings per page would be optimal, but I have noticed a lot of artists' sketchbooks have one piece per page layouts. I don't know if there's a reason for that or just preference. You do a combination where sketchbook number 1 had several drawings per page on average, and sketchbook number 2 was the opposite. Oh wow, what a mouthful. Well, to answer your question, honestly, you can do whatever you want with your sketchbooks. There's no rules. I just personally like to draw at a certain size, and if what I'm working on turns out to be massive, I just put it on a single page, because I don't know how it's going to outcome when I start these doodles. But then again, I've only been using small 6" by 9" sketchbooks, so they can't be that large to begin with. If I was working at a larger sketchbook scale, I'd probably definitely draw multiple images all the time on one paper. But yeah, it all depends on me. I'm personally an impatient person, and I only like to spend a certain amount of time on each one of my drawings, so for large sketchbooks, I would draw multiple things on one sketchbook paper, keeping them a certain size for speed purposes. Unless, of course, the drawing looked really nice by itself, then I'd probably leave it and then go to the next page. It all depends on what the drawing looks like, I guess, as well. Oh, I hope that answered your question. I don't know what else to add to that. Okay, next question. Have you done any art school? Is that proper English? Yeah, I'm guilty of improper English too, so whatever. Art school, I've gone to a 2-year community college. It wasn't anything fancy. I got like an art degree from it, and I probably didn't even need to go to this place because I felt like I didn't learn that much. But I guess it was a neat experience. I think the only class that I really learned anything out of was my woodshop class. That class was funny because I was the only girl in there out of like this class of boys. Well, actually, there was another female there, but once she found out that this class had to deal with math. She pretty much disappeared right in the beginning of the semester, and I never saw her again. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't go to a fancy art school. I took some painting classes and some pottery classes, and I took some computer design classes too, but that's pretty much it. Yep. Okay, so next question. What are some of your hobbies? Or did you have any other hobbies before you got into drawing? And also, what is your zodiac from both the Chinese and constellation ones? Sorry. I don't know what happened. I just started getting into a weird accent. Okay, hobbies. Before I got into drawing, well, I started getting into drawing when I was a toddler, so I don't remember having any hobbies before that besides collecting toys, but that didn't stop me from getting into new hobbies while I was involved with my art. So let's see, I have quite a few hobbies, but the main few that come to mind are probably taking care of my pets, for one. I have 6 Nigerian dwarf goats and 4 cats at home. I have like 2 indoor and 2 outdoor cats. I like to spend time with them and make things for them, such as cat towers and enclosures for the cats that are indoors, and little ramps and stuff for the goats to play on. I've built a few things for them and would like to build more, but since I'm just a guest living at my brother's house, I'm sort of intimidated to make many things, because who knows how long I'll be here. But for other hobbies, I own quite a few power tools, and I like to make things out of wood. Like, well, I've mostly been making shelves recently because I own a lot of stuff that needs to be organized better, and I can't stand having it be all over the place. So I've been watching a lot of organization videos to pump me up, and it has gotten me super motivated to clean up my living space. But I also like to sew every now and then. I'm not a pro sewer, but sometimes I make myself some basic skirts and blouses, as well as plushies every now and then. I'm sure there's more hobbies, but in short, I pretty much like to make anything involving my hands, whatever that may be. Okay, and this person also asks what my zodiac is from both Chinese and the constellation ones, and I am a rabbit for the Chinese one and a Gemini for the constellation one. Are you going to look me up now and see what my personality is or something? Okay, last question. What do you think about traditional and digital media? And how did you learn how to use digital media? I have problems at feeling comfortable with the tablet, Photoshop, and so on. Okay, so answering your first question first, I personally like using both traditional and digital mediums. I think it's a good thing to try out both. Though sometimes I like one of them over the other. It depends what I'm working on. Like for comics, for example, doing it traditionally takes forever, I've discovered, but it's super fast when you draw them on the computer. But for something like illustrations, I think I prefer traditional mediums over digital because it's much more magical to look at something drawn by hand than on the computer. And for two, I just personally don't like staring at the computer screens for too long. It burns my eyes. And answering your second question, I pretty much learned how to do my digital art programs through my brother because he learned his stuff through school, and then he pretty much told me everything he knew and showed me how the Photoshop program works. But if I were to learn all that now, I'd probably pretty much teach myself how to do it. These search engines have like answers for everything, so as long as you know what to say to them, you have to ask the right questions, and then your answers will pop up and it'll help you. And that's pretty much all the questions I have so far, so I won't be answering any more until I have accumulated 4 or more of them to make another answering questions video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll collect it and answer it the next time I gather enough. So everyone have a great day, and I'll talk with you next time. Bye!